It is time for another 1-minute market update where we talk about the two things that you should care about most as a homeowner. How much is my home worth today compared to what it was yesterday, and how long would it take to sell? We are talking about March 2025 here, so looking at the stats from February, and this month we had a little bit of a surprise. So make sure you stay tuned until the end. I'm Angelo Manusiades with the Atlas Group at Stonehouse Realty. Let's jump in. Starting off with Burnaby detached homes, you are down 2.2% from last month, but up 1.4% from last year. Coquitlam, you are up 0.9% from last month and down 0.2% from last year. Port Moody, you are up 1.4% from last month and up 3% from last year. Port Coquitlam up 0.6% from last month and 2.4% from last year. Maple Ridge, you are down 1.7% from last month and 1.5% from last year. And Pitt Meadows down 5.4% from last month and down 10% from last year. That's a huge drop. As always, if you need specific stats for your particular neighborhood, or you just want to have a little bit of a chat about the real estate market and what you might be looking to do, there is a link in the description below. You can book a time to chat with us. We'd be happy to go over all that stuff. Okay, jumping into townhouses now. In Burnaby, you are up 3.1% from last month and 2.3% from last year. Coquitlam down 0.7% from last month, but up 0.1% from last year. Port Moody down 0.3% from last month and down 1.4% from last year. Port Coquitlam up 3.5% from last month and 1.9% from last year. Maple Ridge down 1.9% from last month and down 0.1% from last year. And Pitt Meadows up 1.5% from last month and up 1% from last year. So townhouses definitely doing better in Pitt Meadows than detached homes. And on to condos. In Burnaby, you are down 0.4% from last month and down 3% from last year. Coquitlam up 0.2% from last month, but down 1.4% from last year. Port Moody down 2.4% from last month and 0.9% from last year. Port Coquitlam down 2.3% from last month and down 2% from last year. Maple Ridge down 0.6% from last month and 1.6% from last year. And finally, Pitt Meadows down 0.7% from last month and 0.9% from last year. Pitt Meadows is really taking a beating this month. Now for the big surprise, the days on market, or how long an average home is taking to sell. It is down across the board and down substantially, I might add. Burnaby, you're sitting at 14 days on market. Coquitlam, 14 days on market. Port Moody, 20 days on market. Port Coquitlam, 10 days on market. That's nuts. Maple Ridge, 15 days, and Pitt Meadows, 28 days. So what this is telling me is that there are a lot more sales happening. Listings are going up and they're actually selling. They're not just sitting stagnant like they were a couple of months ago. And what does that mean? Well, it means that buyers are starting to get a little bit more confident with what's going on. So despite the economic uncertainty, despite tariffs, despite our neighbors down south being the bullies that they're being right now, people are still finding the opportunities to go and make purchases because they know that if their financials are sound, if they've got good jobs, if they're buying within their means, that they can outlast whatever is to come over the next couple of years and know that they've got a safe, solid place to live. Once again, if you need specifics for your neighborhood or you just want to get an idea for what you could possibly do this year in real estate, click the link below. Let's set up a time to chat. I'm Angelo Manusiades with the Atlas Group at Stonehouse Realty. I'll see you in the next one.